All right. So, we need to come up with another question for the path to receiving universal gifts. One of the things that Andrew and I have done is every night before we go to bed, we go into prayer and we pray that God will download, or angels or our spirit guides will download to us all the information that we need, right, to support our well-being and the well-being of those that we serve. So that's something that we do. Is there something else that you do, Michelle?
I do. I actually go into my Akashic records and ask that that the downloads come through and any upgrades to happen while I'm sleeping. So light codes come in, typically in the while I'm sleeping. So that I wake up and I've just, I know that I've received the information that I need for that day or for life or whatever it may be.
Yeah, and one of the things that I use, do you use the Lemurian crystals?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I have several. Um, so I think that we should talk about ways, we're talking about the path to receiving universal gifts is, it's really keeping yourself grounded. And so I'm just going to take a few minutes here about finding ways to show you how to ground. I use things like we were talking about sound, and you can use the humming. You can sing in the shower, right? And what have you, and tap. Or, you can use essential oils, and you can, uh, rub it in the palm of your hand. You want to bite that? Yes, you do. I know that. You're just going to tap that. Rub it in the palm of your hand and inhale it. And if you're using something like doTERRA's Forgive, doTERRA's Console, or Peace, it'll bring that calming state to your brain. And when you can calm the brain down, then you can actually hear what it is that you need to hear. Anything else that you do to calm your brain so you can hear what you need to hear?
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of different things, but for me, I'm a water sign, and so water really helps clear my mind and center me and ground me. So for me, I either go outside where I have a pool and it has a waterfall, so I can hear and I can see, or I love my baths. So that grounds me immediately. If I'm feeling anxious, or really if I'm feeling any kind of way that's the slightest bit out of sorts, immediately I think I want to go take a bath. So that I love that. And then taking my shoes off and just walking around on the earth, in the grass. So that immediately will take care of it as well.
Yeah, and so I do the same. Like I take a bath, and I put in Epsom salts, and I put in like frankincense and myrrh or Melissa oil, to help me really ground and bring my brain into a theta state. Um, I will say this: this is really, really important for people to know and hear and take action on. Um, the toxins in our water supply are so prevalent. You can go to the ewg.org and check that out. Um, and um, the water filters that we offer are so affordable. Keep in mind, I found them and started using them when I was disabled, which means they're not expensive. Your shower head is anywhere between $95 and $105, right? It's a no brainer. And so when you take a bath, you don't fill it up from the spout, by the tub, but you fill it up from the shower head, and you can have a toxic free bath. So the whole house water filtration system, super affordable. With installation, it's probably around 2,100. And if you install it yourself, it's like 1,900 or something, or 1,899. And and the water takes out over 220 contaminants. And when you go to the ewg.org, they tell you what contaminants are in your water, which ones are over the legal limit or the recommended limit. And just because it's the legal limit doesn't mean it's a good limit.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's so critical. And then the other thing is, if you're in an apartment like we are right now, you may want to, you can do under the counter water filtration systems, or you can do a tabletop. And I'm not talking about the pitcher, which we do have water filter pitchers, which can go in the refrigerator. But those, for me, in my opinion, are really for work, like where you are just filling up your water bottle or your glass of water. You fill it up at night and you come down, get to work the next morning, and you have a water pitcher full of, water pitcher that you're ready to go. What I'm talking about is like a tank. It sits about 3 feet high, and you could take that camping. Quite frankly, you fill at the top and filters through the bottom. It's great for emergency preparedness. Hashtag emergency preparedness. Figure that one out, people. So you want to have these. You want to have, as much as you can of those replacement filters. And I want to say this. Bottled water doesn't cut it. Bottled water is not filtered. They may take out chlorine so you don't have the taste, but you still have all the toxins in it. They're just getting it from the tap and taking out the chlorine. There are a few brands that don't do that do filter the water. You can go to the ewg.org to figure out what those brands are, but quite frankly, it gets really pricey really fast. And then there was one other thing I was going to say about that, but basically, if you're not filtering the water, you are the filter. And what you'll find is when you go to the ewg.org, they'll show you, like, say, the top 4 or top 6 contaminants in your zip code's water supply. And guess what they all cause? Cancer. So this is an investment in your health. It's much cheaper, like way cheaper, to just buy a freaking water filter than to spend money. So you can either give the money to yourself first, love yourself first, or you can give the money to the doctor. Either way you pay.